Rightio everybody, we're going to show you what we're touring Australia with, towing our boat. It's a Nissan Navara MP300 STX, 2017 model I believe. We'll start at the front of the build. We have a Runva 11,000 pound winch. I'm unsure of the model, it's just 11,000 pound model. We got an ARB Sahara bar for the MP. We got Uniden UHF, which is just your standard, I'm not sure what model that is either, it's a standard UHF. We got a King Fab Customs snorkel and airbox, the complete kit. It is good, it is awesome. We got Falcon Wild Peaks. They are the AT3Ws with ROH rims. They just come on the car when I bought it, but the Falcon Wild Peaks are the best tyre that I've had yet. Making our way back here, we have the King's shower tent, which we just got for cheap, so works good, works perfect I should say. And then we have on the top, we'll start on the top, we have two 180 watt, I'm almost certain, 180 watt Enerdrive solar panels that run to our 200 amp lithium battery, which we'll get to soon. We have a Selfie Go reception booster in the car, which that is the aerial for, which we bought a GME folding bracket for, just to make it easier for when we're going around low trees and places. And all that is strapped onto the bed that we are staying in, the King's MK3, I don't know if it's a tour or whatever it's called, MK3 hard shell tent. It's been pretty good. We did have one issue with water, but they gave us a brand new one straight away. Basically fixed it within a couple of days, gave us a brand new one and put it on the car for me as well, so that was awesome. Around the back here, we have an MW 1650 Canopy, just your standard 1650 by 1770 wide. MW toolboxes, they're just your standard toolboxes that you can buy from them. MW guards, and a custom built tray that I made that is aluminium. It's 1750 long by 1770 wide. We come around here, we got two spotlights, I suppose they are, that I just mounted on the back just for extra light. They're not connected to reverse or anything, you can just turn them on inside the canopy and you can turn them on from inside the rooftop tent. So if Georgia thinks there's boogeyman in the middle of the night, she can turn them on and light everything up. I don't know if other campers will be happy about that, but we've got the jerry can holder, which I fabricated as well. It's aluminium. Just had the aluminium left over from when I built the tray, and they're really expensive to buy. And I have, at the bottom is sealed as well, just so if I leave the car anywhere, no one can, like, I don't know, pierce the jerry can tank and take the diesel or whatever. And anyway, down here we have, I cannot remember what these tail lights are called, but they are, I'm not even sure what they're called, I cannot remember. They're by,
I can't remember either.
No, I can't remember who they're by, I've gone blank. Anyway, yeah, they got the plug and play kit with the resistors for the LEDs. They're like 550 bucks from LED Auto Lamps or somewhere like that. That's what brand they are. I'm not sure what, Maxi Lamps they are, sorry. Something like that, Mozzies. Anyway, yeah, so on the back here we have a matching tyre. Got the ROH rim with the Falcon Wild Peak on there. The June rubbish bag, or leaking bit of bin juice.
Yuck.
Or, yeah, whatever you want to put in their clothes and stuff like that.
We just put our rubbish.
Yeah, we just put our rubbish in there. Gas bottle, just hanging on the back here. Couldn't really think of anywhere else to put it, so it's been good though because the kitchen is just here, so it reaches perfect. We got the Bushwhacker 270 awning, which we got on sale. They had like a deal going, so we got it really cheap, so ended up getting one of them. Good bit of gear. I've had it in about 50k winds and it is good. It is stayed up, hasn't broken. I mounted lights because I didn't get the light version, so I mounted lights up on here. Back around here, sorry, I missed the spot. Water filler, we have a 70 litre tank underneath the tray, so that's where you fill up with water. We have a diesel filler back here, which all these plates I just made, which magically somehow followed the line of the toolboxes, which turned out good. But yeah, and if you come down in here, we have Superior chassis bracing for the MP300, which I welded on there. And we have, in the back, have removed the spare tyre, and we've got Dobinson's Constant 300 coils with Airbag Man airbags, and they're at about 37 psi. I have them at the moment. The tinny is, I'm not sure how heavy it is, but yeah, 4.2. It's fully got all the gear and everything in it, so it's got a bit of weight behind it. But yeah, yeah. So we come up here to also got the, they're just XTM. What are they
Max
called?
tracks.
Yeah, max tracks, whatever you want to call them. Recovery tracks. I don't know how good they are. Sorry, they're probably good, but with the weight of the car, I'm unsure. And we only got 2 of them, which we probably should have got more. But anyway, and we just got the King Swag, which is a spare in case we stay at the islands or something in the tinny. We'll give you an inside look of the Canopy on the driver's side. We have our light switches here, which we have orange and normal white light. We have water pump, which is conveniently in this toolbox here, which we have a boat wash down. I have my hose and I can connect my hose onto the boat. It's 11 litre a minute pump, which could possibly be a bit too big, but it does work good with the hose, and when we wash the boat down it does work fantastic. But yeah, all that stays in there nice and neat. We'll start at the back here. We have a companion aqua heat shower. It works awesome. I just got the water on a tap here, because the water freely flows through the shower. If you turn it on, the water, well, sorry, it has a tap on here as well, so when we turn it on, which is that way, we have the tap on the nozzle. I'm not going to start this up right now, but we just leave it on minimum or near minimum, and when you turn it on it stays just at idle, and when you flick the switch and turn the shower on, it ignites itself and the water becomes warm, and then when you're done wetting yourself down you turn it off and it puts itself out. And then when you soap up, want to wash yourself off again, turn it back on, it ignites itself. So yeah, it works really good. We don't leave it there when we use it, so when it's going and burning we don't leave it inside the canopy, because safety reasons, I suppose. You never know what it's going to do, but it has been a really good bit of gear that we've brought with us. And we kept the old pump just in case something happens, we run out of water or anything, we can just throw the pump that originally come with it in a bucket. We have a water jerry can and whatnot, and you can still shower with it. But yeah, it's got its own gas canister on the back, its own lithium battery, and I always leave it plugged in. So I brought wiring down here at the back so you can charge your phone, and I can continuously charge the companion, so every time I turn it on it's always charging. Well, it's full, I should say, so every time we use it it's charging. The next thing we brought was this porta potty 345, which Georgia loves using because I suppose we can just walk into the bush. But yeah, it's really good. We got the chemicals in here for it, and the chemicals are good. You don't smell anything, it just smells like chemicals. Sorry. So yeah.
And we put it in the tent.
And we put it in the shower tent when we have it out. Got a little bamboo floor, which we'll show you later when we're back at the camp and have it set up. We'll just do a little run through of that, but yeah. Moving forward, we have an XTM drawer. I do not know the dimensions, but it does hold a lot of stuff. We've got all sorts of stuff in there. Toilet paper stacked up the back. It's a little bit messy, but got our toilet chemicals.
Jet boil.
Yep, our jet boil. Georgia had to have grass pad for your feet when there's no grass and it's dirt. You want to feel like you're at home. Also made this little hook here, so when we have a shower, the shower tent comes out, which we'll show you again. This slides in and you can hook your towels, your showering gear and everything up in there, so handy. But yeah, just carry spare fuel filters and stuff in there. Up here we have our table holder, which is another thing that I built, made out of alloy, and it's simple. Got a band there, whatnot. You just undo this and the table comes out. Whoop. And then you pull this and you just put that back on there and do it up, and it goes nowhere. Yeah, and we did purchase, I'll shift water bottles out of the road. It's a little bit messy at the moment because we've been driving back and forth. We bought an air fryer which plugs into our inverter and works good, works perfect. We did have one little dilemma, but we won't talk about that dilemma. But yeah, anyway, got the old 5 litre water bottle, must have. Moving forward, we have a King's 200 amp lithium battery, which we were slightly iffy about going with King's just because of everyone saying what happens with them. We bought the rooftop tent because it was extremely cheap. They had like some deal, and one of the dudes who works there gave us the deal, and it ended up cheap, and we thought, oh well, if we have a problem with it again, then we might just buy a different brand altogether. But mainly because we can shut all our stuff in there, like our electrical stuff and blankets and that, not pillows, but everything else. All this 12 volt wiring I did. Yeah, it's a bit, we'll just plug the slide in. We usually leave it off because it's going all the time, but yeah, we got a Renogy 2000 watt inverter, which was cheap and it works unreal. I'd buy another one. I'd buy more Renogy gear probably. They are good. We got the Enerdrive DC to DC 40 amp charger, which has been good as well. And that's one thing that we did, was went with good brand. I say good brand electrical, then we got a King's battery, but we went with good brand equipment on the roof, like solar, this, our battery monitor. Renogy is a good brand, so we went with that for the inverter, and stuck with that just so we know that it's reliable. So when we're in the middle of nowhere, it's not just going to magically break, hopefully, and all goes well. And the King's battery, it's been flat twice now, my fault, because we parked the car inside the shed, and your battery doesn't charge when your car's parked in the shed for 2 weeks, which I should have known. But anyway, there's no sun in the shed. But anyway, yeah, and it's worked perfectly. Comes back, works perfectly fine. Never had a problem. Always works good. We have GPO outlets for the inverter, so you don't have to lean over and plug anything into the inverter. I've got GPOs on this side, GPOs on the other side. Alright, we've had to skip to the next day because it was getting too dark. We'll run through this side of the canopy. The canopy is fully insulated, roof, floor, front and rear. It's got aluminium 40x40 supports under the floor to lift it up so that we didn't have to deal with the lift. And it's just plywood that's been carpeted. We'll start at the front here. Is all the electrical, so fuse box, Renogy battery monitor, sorry. Switch panel from RTM, which just has interior canopy lights, rear spotties, which you can also turn on from the roof. You can also turn the canopy lights on from the other side of the canopy. We got awning lights and rooftop tent power, which I just wanted it to be isolated so that if we're traveling on a rough road and God forbid something happens, there's going to be no power going to it at all. Down the bottom here we also have the Renogy inverter to turn it on, so we can easily turn it on from there, and then the GPOs become usable on this side and the other side of the canopy. Starting at the front, we have a King's, I think they're 85 litre fridge. It's worked unreal, besides the freezer loves to freeze over, but other than that it has worked unreal. And this doesn't work anymore. That's the only other downside to the fridge, because the door somehow is slanted, like it's smaller gap there, bigger there, I'm unsure. We just chock it just to be sure, so if we do any rough tracks or anything, the door can't come open. It is magnetic. We have 300 MW pantry, so they come in 200 and 300, which we got the 300 because of the 1650 canopy, which is very handy. Keeps all of our stuff, a little bit of a mess, but it's hard to keep everything together when you're using it so often. But George has got a little sticky hook she had to have, which keeps the dishcloth, tea towel nice and tidy. We just tuck it in there a bit. Keep all our glad wrap and whatnot underneath, so good for storage, has that extra shelf. Then it has this bottom bit which we just keep some other items there. This is a XTM fridge slide, 550 wide I believe. I think it's a fridge slide anyway. We built an aluminium box which Georgia drew up on paper, and then my old boy found me some shitty aluminium in the bush and we made this box. That's why I got a bit happy with Sikaflex, because it was extremely hard to weld. It was very dirty and I sanded it, grinded it the whole show, and it just didn't want to weld. So people who weld aluminium will know that it's hard to weld if it's not clean. We'll start with the top. So we bring this out and it holds our companion high output burner, which we do have a strap that goes over the top of it, so that just keeps it sturdy when we're on the road. If you move around to this side, I put a door on the box so it keeps all our pots, pans, utensils, toaster, everything else. So I was sort of just making use of space by building the box on there, because I don't know if you'd have to carry another box and dig through it all the time, and I couldn't find anything that had a box like this on the top of it. So then with the slide we just got our bench, and then we have a cooktop bench which has 4 legs underneath, which we fold the legs out obviously and put them down so that there's another leg, so that the weight is not so bad, because the cooker is a little bit heavy. So yeah, that's mainly all for this side of the canopy. We have lights on the canopy door which go orange, white, normal sort of stuff. Tools in this toolbox, it's just again a King's toolkit. They're only like $200 and you get all sorts of stuff with it, and I've already had to use it a fair bit, thermostat in the outboard and different type of deal, fixing different things. So it's a pretty good kit, cheap tools, but Like I've used it a fair bit and everything seems to be good. So yeah, we'll move to the inside of the car. If you come in the back here, we have removed the rear seats. We just have a box, it's like 80 litre box or something, 60, 80 litre box. It's got first aid kits, cleaning, utensils, prescription stuff, all sorts of stuff like that. And we got behind, we store our little laptop board and collapsible buckets, all fit perfectly. We got a collapsible normal bucket, dishwashing rack, and a larger bucket we wash our dishes in. If you come up here, we have our laundry basket, which clips onto the screws up the top here. They just go through the little holes and sit down, and I did Velcro the back of it, so we load all our dirty washing. This is clean at the moment. Load our dirty washing in, take it to the laundromat, and then we load our clean washing once it's done back into the car to sort out. On the back of the car seats we have just your standard seat organizers. We got two different types because we weren't sure what to get, just to test two of them. They were good, obviously full of gear. Down the bottom we just have another basket for shoes, my fish finder and random items. We store the laptop and everything down here. And Georgia found this handy little bag to keep all the cords that just stays in between the two seats at Autobahn. It's got our iPad and everything else in it. I'll grab the laundry bag. If you just lean over inside the car, you will see that there's a reception booster there. I don't think that light works. We have a Selfie Go reception booster. It's a bit dark, you can't really see it, but yeah. Selfie Go reception booster, which the aerial is on the side of the rooftop tent, and our other aerial is just in the center console here. And if we're sitting outside the car, I can just pick it up and move it onto the passenger seat, just to make the reception go further. That's the actual one that the phone is picking up, and the MPs come built in with a cigarette charger. Majority cars do in the center console, so we leave that plugged in while we're driving. And if we don't have it at night time, we just run the cord, because it is extremely long, which is handy, back into the Canopy and plug it into the cigarette charger here.
The hat holders.
The hat holders, sorry. Georgia made me build hat holders for the back, which is handy, keeps them off the dash, out of your road. I still throw my hat on the dash though. Rightio, this side of the car, behind the driver's seat, we have a wardrobe that I built and fixed in by just a bit of aluminium bent up. It is riv nutted to the base of the car where the rear seat was sitting. We built it to specs with these little fluffy, what are they called?
I don't know.
Something. They're called
Just a cube.
Packing cubes. Yeah.
It's not a packing cube.
Same thing. A cube. Anyway, we keep all our clothes in there. Keeps it all nice and tidy. Looks good. Another rear seat organizer we have in the back there. It's just same as the last one, sort of. Just keeps everything neat and tidy. Keeps everything out of boxes too, so you don't have to dig through boxes as such. That's just George's little shower bag, and that's just another bag we got to keep everything off the floor, so there's not things roaming around the floor. Jumpers and stuff, yeah. So I think now that concludes our car tour. I'm not sure if I missed anything. I may have.
We'll add it in.
Yeah, we'll add it in if I have missed anything, but I don't think that I have. We'll go for the boat rundown. It's fairly straightforward and simple. There's not much to it. Just in case anyone wants to see what boat we're taking with us, what we're going to be taking everywhere basically, and we'll go from there. Sweet, cheers.